Hi, everyone. Dr. Elizabeth Bonet here. Dr. Liz, welcome to the Hypnotize Me podcast. Before we jump in, please note that the podcast is not mental health treatment, nor should it replace mental health treatment. If you need psychotherapy or hypnotherapy, please seek treatment from a trained professional. I do hypnosis all over the world, so please feel free to contact me through my website, drlizhypnosis.com, DRLIZ hypnosis.com. Hi everyone, Dr. Liz here, and today I'm going to give the results of the podcast survey. Like, who are you? Who's listening? And before I do that, I just want to thank each and every one of you for one, listening, period, even if you didn't have time to take the survey, but two, thank you so much if you did take the time to take the survey. I really, really appreciate it. And you guys are just so cute. I love you so much. You left the sweetest comments and gave me good ideas about what to cover in the upcoming season. And I just want to say thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you all. So, who are you? 71% are 35 to 54 years of age. So my podcast is definitely skewing towards people who are over 35. I did have some respondents in the younger age categories, but the vast majority of you are 35 to 54 years of age. 83% identify as female. That means a lot of women out there listening to me. And I appreciate the male listeners for sure, but I will say there's something karmically about me that I definitely speak to women. Being a prenatal yoga teacher forever, I touch the lives of thousands of women, and something about that role resonated with them and me. And as I run my podcast, I realize, yes, a lot of my listeners are women. So wonderful. 84% have children. So most of you have kiddos. I did ask about the age of the kiddos, and about 60% of you have kids under 18, and about 40% of you have kids over 18. So we've got a good mix there. 74% have a bachelor's degree equivalent or more. So we're looking at a very educated audience. Now, most of you are not hypnotherapists. You know, I always get this question because there are some podcasts about hypnosis that are oriented towards other hypnosis professionals. There's a couple of good ones out there, some that I listen to. But people generally ask me, like, are most of your audience hypnotherapists or hypnosis professionals? So that's why I asked this question this year. And the vast majority of you are not, like 87% are not. So that gives me a good idea about how to explain things. Like, you're not hypnosis professionals, so I can't just use shortcut jargon language all the time, right? I need to explain things as we go, which I have been doing, but I need to continue to do that. 40% of you have had hypnosis with a professional, either individually or through a workshop. So that's a pretty good percentage, actually, people who have had hypnosis before. And 85% of you have listened to a hypnosis file at home, either one that was free to you or paid. Now, that doesn't surprise me that much because when you join my newsletter, you get a free hypnosis file, right? So I'm assuming that some of you have listened to the podcast, then you go and join the newsletter, and then you get the free hypnosis file and you listen to it. But I did want an idea about how many of you have done that. Now, where are you from? This wasn't asked on the survey because I actually get these statistics through my podcast host, which is Libsyn. I use Libsyn as my podcast host. 85% are in the US, UK, Australia, and Canada combined. I'm listened to on 7 continents, 147 countries, quite a diversity across the world, but the vast majority are coming from the US, UK, Australia, and Canada. Now, has the podcast helped you or someone you know in some way? And all of you said yes. There is one outlier who said, well, I haven't listened to it as much as I've actually wanted to, so I'll have to say no, it hasn't really helped me. And you know what? Thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that. But in statistics, we call that an outlier. Basically, if only one person responds something, you're an outlier. So I want to be honest here. I had one outlier who said, no, podcast has not helped me at all because I haven't really listened to it that much, which is funny. That's like saying the medicine didn't help me. Oh, and by the way, I didn't take it. Right? But it was really cute. I appreciate your honesty. For the rest of you, it has helped you. And the percentage that it's helped a lot or a great deal is 53%. So we got 30% up there that it's helped a great deal. And then a lot is the next percentage, and then a moderate and a little are pretty much tied. So great. I always want to know that the podcast is helping you. And if it isn't, then I want to improve it. So wonderful. Helps me keep going. Now, what would you like to hear in the podcast in the next season? Most of you want free hypnosis episodes. Fantastic. I continue to run those. I run them about every 10 episodes or so. So every couple of months, I'll throw a free hypnosis or a meditation in there to help you. So I'll continue to do that. That's one of my missions with the podcast. The next biggest category was that you would like to hear more about emotional topics like decreasing anxiety, depression, feeling more stable, deeper healing, different types of therapy. So that was the next highest category that people wanted to hear about. You do want to hear some about medical. And then the vast majority of you like the branching out that I did in the last season. So I began interviewing people about all kinds of healing and transformation, not just hypnosis. Of the 40% who answered that question, 30% of you wanted to see that. So a good majority. Now, I will still also do episodes strictly about hypnosis and how it can help you. So don't worry about that if you're one of those respondents. Now, some of the topics. Am I going to address some of these topics? I will hopefully get to every single one of these topics, but I can't guarantee that because there was quite a range. I am going to do a whole weight loss month in January. So whoever put weight loss down, that is coming. I would love to do an episode about how to stop clenching your teeth at night. I actually used to grind my teeth at night. And how I stopped it is the time I was married to my ex-husband. He'd wake me up every time I did it. And so I learned not to do it, right? Because I really like sleep. Now, that's not through hypnosis, but that's a practical solution. If you have a partner in your bed who can wake you up, that'll help you. My current husband, Mr. Manning, was driving along the other day and heard an advertisement for a dentist. It was offering a special, like free x-rays for new patients and free first exam and a hypnosis to stop grinding your teeth, a free hypnosis file. So he made sure to tell me that as soon as he got home. So I will look into that. That was a problem for a long time for me. My jaw would get really sore and it affects your teeth and all of that. So I'll look into that. I am going to talk about deeper healing and regressive hypnosis, as well as how to feel more connected with others in your life. So when you feel more connected, you feel less alienation, you feel more of a sense of community. And actually, it's a huge factor in health and happiness. It's one of the top factors, actually, is whether you feel like you have some friends in a community. So I will talk about those topics, as well as anxiety. I also got a comment about kids and can it help kids? So there are specialists that work with kids, actually, and I'll see kids in my practice from time to time, strictly for hypnosis, though, if I think I can be helpful with hypnosis. I used to be a child specialist, child and family specialist, so I saw kids all the time, all day, every day, and then I left the field for about 10 years. I got burned out, and when I came back, I saw kids briefly, but I realized if I continue to see children, I'm going to get burned out again. So I stopped seeing them. I started focusing on adults, but I can absolutely do an episode about how hypnosis can help children. And that's often sprinkled into episodes as well. I can think of a couple off the top of my head where they talk about working with kids. So I just want to let you know all of that results as well as what's coming up in the new season. I'm also interested to see who shows up. So at this point in the podcast, I get pretty regular requests for people to be interviewed. So these are often publicists contacting me and saying, hey, I have a great guest for your podcast. Some of them I take if I feel like they're appropriate, and some of them I don't. So I'm interested to see who will show up in the next year or two, who I'll be able to interview. I've made some really wonderful connections this way through the podcast. I'll also continue to talk about DBT, dialectical behavior therapy, because I love it and I think the worksheets are so helpful. So I'll do some of that and continue to talk about the hypnosis research. It's fascinating. So I always love to put that out there and let you know about it. All right, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful week. Peace. I hope you truly enjoyed today's episode. Remember that you can get free hypnosis downloads over at my website, drlizhypnosis.com, DRLIZ hypnosis.com. I work all over the world doing hypnosis. So if you're interested in working with me, please schedule a free consultation over at my website, and we'll see what your goals are and if I can be of service to you in helping you reach them. Finally, if you liked today's episode, please subscribe to the podcast or tell a friend. That way, more and more people learn about the power of hypnosis.